Edwards off the ring. Like it back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Riley Williams. Goes to the free. Touchdown.
All right, everybody, welcome in to the Week 0 edition. It's a Gridiron Uncensored podcast. Trevor, it's back, man. It is freaking back. We're here. It's college football time. We're done waiting. We're done talking. It's all about the game now.
See the shit-eating grin on my face? It's because it's football time, baby.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Beautiful graphic, by the way. I love that. It's Farmageddon. I mean, that's the headliner. Overseas, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. For all the new folks that have joined us from the off season, all of our season previews, we're excited to have you along for the season. Reminder, we also go live at 8 p.m. Central on Sundays to do a recap show of the week prior. So just something to look forward to. Tonight, we're going to talk about, the games at hand. We're going to hit all 5 of them being week 0. And then we have a thing called Gridlock. Just kind of, we pick, a team that we think is in either right at that like -3 of being a favorite, and then all the way to the biggest underdog. If we've seen a couple of those get picked and win. So
yeah, Brendan reminded everybody what the point system is. Isn't it a point if you go? I'm trying to remember it.
Yeah, so I looked at it again, and so for us fans, when we do the Gridlocks, if you want to comment your Gridlocks, just count it as like we do, like a normal record, 1-0, 2-0. We just do one a week. But for us on this side, we usually do a point system as a competition between the guys on the show. And so like if you're -3 to even, you get 1 point on the lock that you pick. If you're even to +3, you get 2 points. If you're 3.5 point underdog to a 6.5 point underdog, you get 3 points. 7 point underdog and higher, you get 4, and then so on. I even put one in there like a 6 pointer. If you're picking an underdog that's like 14.5 to the highest possible whatever fucking thing, you're getting like 7 points. So that's just kind of something we're doing internally. But again, we'd love you guys to comment your Gridlock. Who are you for sure picking?
Feel free to tally your points up and throw them in the comments towards the end of the season. Be like, hey, I got this many points.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know. We'd love to have your comments. And I can post my scoring key later on socials. So outside of that, we're doing the Gridlock. We're also making our picks. It's got the spreads on there so you can see that. And then at the end, we're going to do a mailbag segment. And we're kind of doing it what we call a 7-on-7, fast pace. It's quick. It's kind of an ode to the part of the interruption guys. We're just kind of scrolling real quick. So without further ado, Trev, let's get in these games.
Let's do it.
And let's talk some football. First up, kind of going off not just from the timeline, but just kind of games that I'm seeing. Sam Houston, Western Kentucky is the first one on the docket that we're going to talk about. Conference USA members. And honestly, both these teams have a lot of change. Trevor, Western Kentucky, currently they're a 10.5 point favorite.
I thought that was a little high, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you look at these teams, like I said, a lot of changes. New coach for Sam Houston, and they had a nice year last year, but they've totally rebuilt this roster and the defense. A lot of portal additions, and that's just really my question is, can the offense, from Sam Houston keep up with them? Because with Western Kentucky, because I don't know if the defense is going to be able to stop them enough. Western Kentucky, on the other hand, they also had changeover, but McIver's their quarterback, and he's got familiarity with the offensive coordinator. So that to me is a huge plus in this game, even though there's new receivers, there's new offensive linemen, and that's really where I'm looking at this game. I think Western Kentucky is just going to have too much power on the O to, for Sam Houston to handle it, at least until they get a little bit more gelled with all the portal additions they've had. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you to a certain degree, definitely for Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky's got a little more continuity, a little bit more, has a little bit more. But do I think that they have enough to beat them by 2 scores? We'll see. They were a little inconsistent. I mean, I feel like Western Kentucky was a little inconsistent last year.
Yeah.
To give them the nod from week 1 with all the changes, to just say that they're going to go out week 1 and beat a team like Sam Houston by 2 scores. But that being said, it could be a whole lot worse. You don't really know. But in this particular case, I tend to agree with you on Western Kentucky. They are the more polished team, if you will, out of the two that are playing. So I feel like that's probably what will get them through this game, is just the experience that they have on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and really, to me, it's the offense. And again, the quarterback, offensive coordinator having that familiarity is huge. It's probably, to me, it's going to be a slugfest early. Just these teams figuring it out, and it's just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, making sure all the pieces through fall fit together in actual game situation. There's always adjustments that get made. But again, I mean, Western Kentucky, they had one returning starter on defense, so a lot of movement there as well. So interesting game, 10.5 spread for Western Kentucky. You guys let us know what you think on that one. Trev, we're doing picks at the end, so we'll throw up that graphic to show you guys what we're seeing. Second game up is Idaho State UNLV, and this one we've been talking about it. It says it's not televised. Are we wrong? You guys let us know. Is there a link that we can find? Tell us where to pirate this shit. That's what I want to know. But when we're talking about the game, Dan Mullen, he's come in, he's totally revamped this team. Trevor, They've got a 26.5 point spread in favor of UNLV. I mean, at Idaho State, there's people, the guys that I follow on Twitter that we talk to that are like in the stats profession. They're saying take the under on that one. Like, it's not gonna. Yes, UNLV is going to win, but I don't think the spread's right. They think it's going to be a lot tighter. I'm a little surprised by them saying that.
I guess I'm a little bit surprised, but with them, I'm also a little bit surprised on the spread. I thought that Vegas would be a little bit more conservative.
Yeah.
With that spread, being that they're going to have a brand new starter at quarterback, one that he kind of proved that he had a hard time throwing the ball. I'm just saying. I mean, look, I'm not trying to throw shade at the guy or anything. It really is not my intention. I'm not trying to throw shade because he's a phenomenal athlete. But to say that he's going to walk in first game as the starting quarterback and beat a team by 24 points, I feel like that is a little too generous. And I tend to agree with the experts that you've heard is take the under on that. But that being said, I do think that UNLV will win. I think they'll just be way too powerful overall.
Yeah. When I look at this, what I have written down in my notes on like just quick hits for this game, if you're Idaho State, can you catch them early trying to figure out, because Dan Mullen said they're going to play a 2 quarterback system. And my assumption is Calandra, he's the guy. He's going to be the passer. And I think Orgy's going to have the same ordeal he had at Michigan. He's going to get in the Orgy cat. He's going to run the goddamn ball, maybe toss it a couple times, just to see what he's got.
I still think they should line him up at tight end and just even keep him out there with Calandra at all times.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a good athlete. Yeah. He really is.
So that's probably what I would do but I mean, Dan Mullen, he's obviously a head coach. So what the fuck do we know? We'll see. But I don't know. That's probably what I'd do with Orgy. We are Michigan fans. We've seen him play. He's talented on the ground. He's strong, but this passing game is just left so much to be desired. So we'll see what he improved on, in the offseason. And then for me, UNLV, you got Jalen Glover, let him run it. get the wide receivers in action early and really just open it up. And you need to use this game as major practice. Get this team rolling, see what happens. Defense need to fly the ball, heavy pressure early. And if you're not getting pressure with rushing forward, you're in trouble. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, picks will be at the end. Trev, anything else on that game, buddy?
No, it's pretty much cut and dry as far as I'm concerned, really.
Yeah, same here. One that people are calling for upset alert already, Trevor. Fresno State, Kansas. They're saying it's going to happen. It's a 12.5-point spread in favor of Kansas.
I would still take the under of that.
It could be closer. It could be.
Yeah.
When I look at this Kansas team, and they got Jalen Daniels coming back, and he was healthy last year. He's still healthy. You got some nice portal additions on the offensive line. That alone, I feel like, is going to be too much for this Fresno State roster. Just run the ball. Run the goddamn ball. You lost Neal at running back. I know that, but you've got guys on the roster that can step up. Run the goddamn ball. That is what I want to see from them. And Jalen, if you're running him on this game, we got problems. You need to keep him fresh for the Big 12 play. The defensive line, that's where I want to see them have a big game and linebackers get up to speed. Also, for me, cornerbacks. You lost your top two corners from last year. How do the guys fill in that void? I think there's talent there that can do it. Trev, what do you think about this game? Fresno State, they have a chance.
Here's the thing about Fresno State is they've always been a solid team.
Yes.
There's never been a time when, at least recent memory, at least, that Fresno State's been like a junker team or some just a forgettable team.
Right.
And I think the same goes for this, but I think Kansas can't take them lightly. One, but really, I would love to see Kansas put a complete game together because I feel like there was a few times last season where I felt like one side of the ball was playing well, the other side of the ball was struggling to do things, and vice versa. Whether it be offense, defense, take your pick, but never. It wasn't never, but I just felt like they had a hard time putting a complete game together.
It wasn't until the end.
Yeah, it wasn't until towards the end of the season. Yeah, correct. And so, yeah, that's what I'll be looking for in this game. I still think Kansas wins, but I do think I'm taking the under on that one.
Yeah, I think they'll cover the spread, to be honest with you. Fresno State, they've got E.J. Warner. They called him as the quarterback. And then for me, it's their offensive line. There's new additions there. How are they going to hold up? And I think the D-line for Kansas has some sturdy players that are going to be able to push them.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how much they can hold them off. And they probably score a garbage touchdown late. Kansas, and maybe push it over. That's probably what I'm going to roll with on my prediction for this game. But something to watch. I know people are calling for it, like I said. So keep an eye out. It'll be interesting to watch there in Lawrence, Kansas. All right, next one up. This one is it's not even – it's a Hawaii test, but it's not. It starts at like 6:30 our time Central. Usually Hawaii games don't kick off until like 10 o'clock at night. So this is like a warm-up, a little appetizer for you guys, if you will. But this is an interesting one with Hawaii and Stanford. Stanford is traveling to the islands. Hawaii's 2.5-point favorites. But a lot of the numbers are favoring Stanford. We're going to talk about that in the mailbag. That was a good question that we'll cover later. Trevor, what are you feeling on this game? Can Hawaii get it done?
Yes, I'm warrioring it up. I need to get a jersey. I need to get a Hawaii jersey for sure.
You get a lot of jerseys. You might have to get this year.
Well, I just want to get one because I love them. I like their jersey a lot.
That's fair.
I like their uni.
But
no, I really like Hawaii in this one. I'm not a big fan of Stanford. I'm not really a big fan of what they did in the offseason. I think they did enough to kind of get by for the most part.
Yeah.
But again, I think that they are probably 2, maybe 3 seasons away from really getting Stanford back. And it's going to be a rocky road, especially, I mean, if they drop this game, it'll be a rocky season.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. Stanford's a manageable team, and I mean, to have Hawaii as favorites, I feel like that's wrong. I don't think that should have been the way it should have been. It should have been flip flop, but I still think Hawaii could pull this one off.
Yeah, listen, when you're looking at Stanford, they did finally name a quarterback, Branson. He transferred in from Oregon State. He's kind of been a backup there, but he's had plenty of games where he has started.
Yeah,
it was after an injury was his main season. And he stepped in last year too, but he's a veteran. He's been around for a long time. So Andrew Luck named him starter over Elijah Brown, which was the stud four-star type quarterback. And I think that's honestly a good move, especially if this year is as rocky as it's projected to be. You don't want to burn out your freshman when he's getting hammered left and right. I think Stanford only had a 3.5 over/under on the season for win total.
They did.
So that's just something. But if Branson can come in and just be our favorite term, game manager, it's not derogatory. We love that term. Control the ball. Let Micah Ford work it on the ground. You're gonna have some possibility here to move on Hawaii. Hawaii's not going to be world beaters this year, but it's a solid team. For defensively, my question, you lost Bailey to Texas Tech. That's a tough loss, but I want to see you guys get some pressure on the edges, with just rushing the 4, but also on the interior. If you can stop the run, okay, we're going to have, Stanford's going to have some room to win here. But Hawaii, it's the offense. You've got to finish drives, finish on third downs. That was a trouble last year. How do you do there? And then the quarterback, Alejado, he had a good year or a good game last year where he really stepped in. So if he can keep that up after a full season off season of being the number 1, this offense might move the ball pretty easily. And that's where you're going to have, some big troubles if you're Stanford. For me, the secondary, last thing for Hawaii, you got to limit the passing attack for Branson, force him to make turnovers, which he's done in the past plenty. So if you can do that, Hawaii's in this game late and they walk off with a win in that spread. People are like, okay, hold on now, Hawaii. Look at you, baby. But we'll see what happens, guys. Again, picks will be at the end of the show, even though you kind of probably get where we're going with some of these. All right, last one, biggest game of the week. It's Farmageddon. It's in freaking Dublin, Ireland. It's crazy. I don't know. You guys let us know. Is it worth playing overseas? I think the teams are having a great time from what I've seen. It's cool for the fans that do get to travel, but this is such a huge game, fun rivalry. Last year or the year before was a Snow Bowl. It's a fun ass game. Trevor, who are you taking in this one? Number 22 Iowa State versus number 17 Kansas State.
I think this is going to be a battle. I think this is going to be a straight out battle. I mean, I know it's Farmageddon and everything, so it's already got a little juice to it, but I think that these teams are going to be so pumped. It was hard for me to really pick a team because I do like what KSU Kansas State's got, but I also really like what Iowa State has. Yeah. I really do. I mean, outside of the gambling shit that they had a little while back, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Bring that up, man.
I had to. So zing.
Shit.
But no, sorry, that was a very, very poor gut punch, but I had to do it.
No, it's funny. If you can't laugh at that, I mean, maybe.
If you can't laugh a little bit, I mean, no one really got in trouble, I don't think.
We also are dark humor types, so
yeah. So I mean, whatever.
But
no, look, Iowa State's got a lot of solid. I like their running game. I think their quarterback is a manageable quarterback. I think that their receivers are okay. I'm not super high on them, but I think that they could potentially do some deal. I think that Kansas State's defense is better. Could be a problem for Iowa State's offense.
Yeah.
This might be the battle of the defenses this game. honestly, Brendan. I'm curious to hear your take on it, but
Yeah.
I really am kind of feeling that the defenses are going to kind of shine in this game, only because of the travel. I think that because of the travel, and then also because I think the talent on both of these teams, I think the defensive talent is so much. There's so much defensive talent on both teams, as I think that's what's going to shine through, especially with them traveling overseas to play this game.
Yeah, and usually defense, steps up early in the season. They're a little bit more in tune, and the offense takes a little longer to go. I think this is going to be a slugfest again, kind of early, kind of like what I was saying with the Sam Houston Western Kentucky game. Everybody's going to be working out kinks. You do have heavy talent on each side, but there's still holes that they're trying to figure out. How did fall ball really work? Is this where we set up? So when you look at Kansas State, for me, the questions, yes, they've got the weapons out. I think out wide, you brought in Jerron Bradley. He's a big body. Avery Johnson, running back, and Edwards, who stayed. He had a really nice bowl game. How does he step up this season as a full timer? But for me, the O-line was a question for Kansas State. Now they did bring in good portal pieces that we've covered these guys. We looked at them in the season previews. You want to go check out what we thought about them? Go check them out. But it's the offensive line that I just want to see how well they've gelled over the fall. And then the defense. I want to see guys step up and have a big game. Like Gabe Powers would be huge. If he needs to step up big time. The defensive line, I think they're able to hold their own, Trevor. This is going to be a defensive, battle, I think, in the early parts of this game while things are getting worked out. But I do think Avery Johnson has the ability to blow the top off too. Now, for Iowa State, Rocco Becht, I like that dude a lot. Their quarterback, I think he's impressive. I think the Big 12's probably got the best quarterbacks in the country.
Top to bottom, yes.
Yeah,
top to bottom, absolutely.
Maybe not like the star power,
star power, but solid.
Like these guys are good.
Just solid quarterbacks, like that they have some experience.
Yeah.
But you're right, Avery Johnson and Rocco Becht. I mean, they both have the opportunity to show out what they can do game one against a very good opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the travel and everything like that, I just wonder if the offenses are going to come out a little sluggish this game.
Yeah, and as long as they're not pounding a bunch of Guinness and shit over there too,
Let's say maybe.
No, if the O-line's doing it, that's probably a good thing.
That's probably a good thing. Powered by beer and bad decisions.
And some bangers and mash and whatever the hell else they got going on. Shepherd's pie. But Iowa State, the last thing I'll say for them, they also had to rework some of the offensive line in the fall and just kind of, get that situation shored up. So who gets the O-line together the fastest is going to win this game. Who's going to control the ball the best? You cannot have turnovers. You cannot do it. You cannot do it early because you could easily take the gas, the wind out of your sails, the gas out of your car, whatever the hell you want to say. So that's what I'm looking for, turnovers and who controls the ball on the ground early. Because both quarterbacks can play. Who doesn't make the mistakes? That's where I'm leaning on that. It's going to be tight. The spread is 3 in favor of Kansas. Obviously they're the favorite. They're not the underdogs. But my dumbass, I can't get the words out. So Trev, that's it on the the games this week for week 0. We want to hear what you guys have to say about the teams. Hit them in the comments. Trev,
let's show our picks officially.
All right. So our partner Blake, he's not able to be on right now, but he dropped his. So I'm going with Kansas State winning. I think it's going to be tight. I struggled back and forth with this one. UNLV, I think, gets the dub. Kansas wins. Western Kentucky and Hawaii knocks down Stanford. Blake, on the other hand, taking Stanford, taking the Cardinal to win there. Western Kentucky, Kansas, UNLV, and then he's flopping to Iowa State and Rocco Becht. I like the pick. It's tough. And then Trev, you're going Iowa State, UNLV, Kansas,
that's right.
Western Kentucky, and Hawaii too. I love it.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm just glad that I picked Iowa State, so I'm a little different from you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I saw when you both picked Iowa State, I was like, shit. This is usually when it's like, okay,
it's good or bad. You never know.
there's at least some leeway here. I
So,
don't know.
folks, those of you that are just joining us this season for your first season, history has proven that if all three of us pick the same team, generally speaking, it's not a good thing for that team.
Yeah, especially in the tight games, like in the big games. Now, like obviously Western Kentucky, whatever UNLV, but it's like the games where we all pick, Kansas State. If we all pick Kansas State or Iowa State, then okay, you guys would probably need to go the opposite way.
Yeah, probably.
But all right, let's pull up the Gridlocks. We'll show you.
So here are our Gridlocks for this week 0.
Again,
boom.
One team. You pick one team you see as a 3-point favorite to the biggest underdog, and we did 3-point favorite because it's still a tight game, and there's still so much that can go wrong or right either way. So we did it that way to be a little bit different. I'm going with Kansas State. I don't know. I just have a feeling on it. It's a sketchy feeling, and we also don't have any options on this week.
Yeah, there you go.
Blake is going with Iowa State, and then Trevor, you were taking Hawaii.
That's right.
So again, I'll post those, the point key on social media. I might add it to this graphic at some point.
Hey, and don't forget, everybody, you'll see that at down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that at Kicking It with the Grid. That is our Twitter, aka X handle. So if you are going to be posting your Gridlock, make sure you at us so we know that you're posting it, so we can like it, make a comment on it, and repost it on our page. Okay?
Yeah, we'll try to shout you out too. We tried to do that last year. And if we're on Facebook too, if you're on there. Again, if you're watching us or if you're listening to us on podcast, you can see all these graphics on our social media sites. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing them live. So, or not live, but as you watch it. But
feel free to make the comments in the comments if you are watching them watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to hear from you guys. Trev, I think it's time to hit the mailbag. So I was trying to bring up mailbag or whatever you want to call. We love the mailbags. We love. We actually had a lot of response this time, which was awesome.
Got mail.
So we're gonna read through these and we're gonna answer them kind of a rapid fire. And the question I put out for the mailbag was, hey, ask us anything about week 0, just anything about the season, and we'll answer it on this show. So Trev,
let's go rapid fire.
All right, the first one up. How much does Georgia Tech win by against Colorado week 1?
Shit. 10 points.
I went with 13. I think Georgia Tech's too good for them. Next one. Biggest mystery from our friend Austin Smith. Why do the metrics favor Stanford, even though Hawaii is the favorite to win? So for me, it's you have an older quarterback coming in. You're still a Power 4 team. You've got better talent around there, but it is a road game. So that's already 3 points in favor of Hawaii. So that's kind of where I'm leaning on it. I don't know. I'm not a stats guy. I just like looking at them and I can analyze it. But
yeah, the way I would look at that is just historical numbers over with Stanford against power group of 5 teams. Maybe that's a speculative guess on my part. That's the only thing is that they're going off of historical stats more than likely.
Yeah,
and historically, I would imagine that Stanford performs well when they stay on the West Coast and they play against group of 5 teams on the West Coast. I would almost put money on it that they have a very strong record against group of 5 teams on the West Coast.
Yeah, a guy that follow real quick, not to linger too long on this, Parker Fleming, he shared his stats, and there's a 50 for him. It's 53% win probability in favor of Stanford and 46 in favor of Hawaii. So interesting numbers there. The other question from Austin, it was kind of a twofer. Who will Beck throw to that will fill the receiving yards that were vacated by the Iowa State, wide receivers that left? And for me, it's Sowell coming over from ECU, and then Townsend is the other one that I'm expecting to maybe get back to that 2023 style. But that's where I'm at on it, Trevor. The rest, it's up to questioning.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, but I almost want to say that he's gonna. I'm trying to find his name because I had it earlier and now I lost it. I think it's gonna be a tight end type of season for them. I
Yeah.
think outside of the guys that they added for the wide receiver, but I think it's going to be an unconventional. It's not going to be just slinging to the wide receivers. I think you're going to see the running backs get involved in the passing game, and I do think that the tight ends will be heavily involved as well
Yeah.
in Iowa State's game plan this season.
I think somebody steps up. All right,
Yeah.
next one. This one is from Jared, and it's a biggest upset in week 0 or week 1 as well. We haven't really looked into week 1 too much, Jared. Week 0, I guess I did question it for the whole season, but week 0 wise, I don't know, man. If anybody's gonna get upset, do you think it's Kansas, Trevor?
Yeah. I mean yeah. Because I mean, there's a few people that have Kansas State as a contender for the Big 12 championship, and losing losing week 0, while it doesn't kill you, it does hurt your chances to get deep and get higher in the rankings and potentially position yourself as a playoff contender.
Yeah, and I'll say I don't think it's going to happen, but if that happened, that would be it. As for the season, I think Trevor, you picked Washington over Ohio State in Washington, so we'll call that the answer. Next question on this list: which preseason top 10 team finished this season unranked?
Okay, so here's the thing: it's probably the team that I drafted in our team draft. It'll probably be Miami, but if it wasn't Miami, excluding Miami, Brendan, who else in the top 10 would you say?
So everybody's saying Miami, and I think that's an easy answer because
it's a fair answer too.
Fair. I mean, listen, last year, yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but they're still a top, 15 team. I think they're going to be better. And if I had to pick a team, it's either going to be Oregon or Notre Dame. So I'm
just going all in on it.
I'm standing on business, damn it. That's what I'm doing. But no, I think Notre Dame would be more likely if they lose
That's
the
hilarious.
first 2 games, the first 2 big ones, Texas A&M and Miami. How are they going to, they've got a couple of other games on there that could be tough. They could easily fall out if CJ Carr is just not ready yet. I think the team around him is really good, but we'll see. That's who I'm picking. I'm going to get hate, but it is what it is.
So wait, just to be clear, who are you picking?
Notre Dame. I think Oregon's 6 schedule is going to be all right.
Okay. Notre Dame.
I had to say that because
all right. I know you're just standing on business with Oregon.
I got to. All right. Other questions going through. Any chance Nebraska can sneak into the Big Ten title game? No. Short answer was no. There's always a chance. Okay?
No, there's not. Not this season.
No, you say no. Listen, I think there's room, but
they're good, but they're not that good.
You're going to have a lot of people at the top start fumbling and falling down. And if these young quarterbacks don't do what we kind of expect them to, then yes, there is room for Nebraska and Raiola and Rule's third year to step up.
Patty Mahomes Jr. cannot handle he can't handle doing things on his own, so he has to pretend to be someone else.
Oh man.
Hey, God. No, Nebraska, I'm sorry, but no, not this season.
Not this season. We'll see what happens. And then another question. We got 2 more here. Who is the group of 5 team playing in week 0 that is the most likely to make the college football playoff?
Yeah, dude,
so you got Western Kentucky, Sam Houston, UNLV, Fresno State, Hawaii.
Honestly, only because they're the only ones that would probably be close to sniffing. Probably UNLV is what I'd say.
I'd go UNLV as well. Now I know they've got a lot of changeover and a lot of room to work, but
hey, you're limiting me on my options here.
Yeah, listen. All right. I mean, Western Kentucky could if they win their conference, which I think they're up there, and
they would have to not just win the conference; they would have to be undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. And then last question. We did release our
His
playoff
smile
brackets
tells me
today.
everything on how ridiculous this
Yeah.
might be.
Well, no, it's a good question, and
Okay.
it's for the Kansas State fans watching it. Will want to hear it. But
Oh, Lord. Okay.
do you think Kansas State will host a playoff game or have to travel? So that's the assumption is they're just going to make the playoffs.
Oh, so we're just assuming that Kansas State makes the playoff.
I mean,
Okay.
that's the way I read it.
All
Do
right.
you
That's
think
the way. That's. I
K-State-
mean, the way you just read it makes it sound that way too. So okay.
and I respect that. I respect.
All right. I respect the confidence. Don't necessarily agree with it, but I respect it.
I'll say, Trevor, if they do, because I do like K-State. I think they have every ability to be at the top of the Big 12. It's just such a shit show, this conference. If they do win it, they're hosting a playoff game. That's what I'm going with.
So you're saying that they are going to be top 4 in the nation?
Well, I mean, they don't.
Because that's how.
No, they'd be like even like 8 versus 9. So they'd be the.
So you think they would be top 8? They would be a top 8 team in the country?
I think they could be. If I mean, we already
what the hell? I need to be on what y'all are on because no.
Listen, we already made our picks. So
I know
they're not in there. They're not in there.
No, they're not in there. They're not in there. But if they were, they are definitely not hosting a freaking playoff game.
All right.
Because one, I will say that in this particular season, I would say by the end of the season that Big 12 will beat each other up so bad that the ranking they just wouldn't be there with the rankings.
That's fair.
And that's just the way I look at it. I just think they would be in the bottom half.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's tough, but I don't know if they run the gauntlet. Then okay, yeah, they're hosting for sure.
Yeah,
but odds are they're all going to beat each other up, and whoever comes out, probably they'll get the road game. But we'll see. We shall see. Thank you all for your questions. That was fun. That was the last one. Quick hits. Trying to just run through it. Any other questions? Make sure you hit us up on YouTube in the comment section or on social media. Trev, let's shut her down. Anything else tonight, buddy?
Just if you guys want to post your questions, make sure you at us at Gridiron Uncensored, at Kicking It with the Grid on Instagram and Twitter, Gridiron Uncensored Podcast on YouTube, and also on Gridiron Uncensored on Facebook. Throw your questions, but add us so we know that you're talking to us.
Absolutely.
And we'll try and add the questions if they're legit good questions.
Hell yeah. Hey guys, football is here. Fire up those smokers, get a lot of beer in your fridge. Whatever the hell you're drinking, it's time to pound it down. Week 0 still counts. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
We're watching it all day. So hope you guys have a great one. We'll see you in the comments. See you around.
Take it easy.